Hey guys, this is a Patreon Q&A. If you would like to be in next week's video, simply check out the link in the description and you can sign up there. Also, I'm going to be going into spoilers for all of the series I'm going to be talking about. Jimmy P asks, how big do you think Laugh-Tale Island will be, and do you think it's inhabited or is it just some ruins? Basically, I'm trying to figure out what's so funny about an 800-year history of the evil controlling world government. So that's a great question, and everybody has their own little theory as to what Laugh-Tale is and what the One Piece treasure is itself. So the main theory that I subscribe to is Uterons. Sure, you guys have heard me mention this guy many times. I consider him the one above all One Piece YouTubers, and I think he may have been the one who discovered like what Laugh-Tale is and where it could be located. Now, as for what the One Piece treasure is or what's like located on Laugh-Tale, I'm not sure who came up with the theory that I'm going to be discussing, but I know it's been out there for a while. But anyway, as for Laugh-Tale itself, it's the missing island from Jaya. Because when we see Nami put the map of Jaya together, it winds up looking like a skull. And in the right eye, we see where Shandora is or was 400 years ago. But then next to it on the left, there's an island missing, or perceived to be missing. And also just this right here kind of makes sense because they said 400 years ago. If it was taken, it would have been taken 800 years ago. 800 years is like the key number that we always get, you know, dating back to when the Void Century began. So the theory is that the world government themselves, or Emu controlling them, took this island and put it under Eni's lobby, because like that big hole where Eni's lobby is, you know, the big waterfall, it's down there. Now what I'm going to go into at this point is my own little personal theory, because I haven't really seen anybody say this. I just started thinking of it myself because like, why did they have to take the island and put it somewhere? You know, like why wouldn't they just destroy it? And I'm thinking like, oh, maybe because they couldn't destroy it, because maybe the entire island is either coated or comprised of like poneglyph material, because we know that the poneglyphs can't be destroyed. Now, what are poneglyphs made of? We don't know yet. I'm assuming they're made of something that comes from space or something, because space is going to be a big element of the story going further. You know, we just discovered the Lunarian race. Pretty sure Lunarian is hinting at this race of people that we see King is coming from the moon, very likely. Also, it's very likely that Emu herself comes from the moon, or one of the moons, or just one of the neighboring planets around Earth. I'm gonna make another individual video about that next week, but that could be where like the poneglyph stuff comes from, maybe. But I mean, that could be what Laugh-Tale is comprised of, regardless of what it's made of or where it comes from. They just can't destroy it, so they had to put it under Eni's lobby. But what's there? I don't think anybody is like living there, because they, you know, probably would have been killed. Because in chapter 967, Roger says we're the first people to discover Laugh-Tale in 800 years. Now, going back to chapter 967, this is like one of the most important chapters, because that's the chapter where Roger discovers Laugh-Tale, and we get the whole he laughs and why he named it Laugh-Tale. But Odin says, as he's logging in his journal, we learn the entire truth of the world, what the 100-year void is, what the people of the D are, what the H weapons are, and in the face of the vast treasure, which was very real indeed, Roger just laughed. So we know for sure that this information is there, so you get all of that stuff. And then since there's a vast treasure, there could be like a lot of gold, I'm guessing, because, you know, that's what the Shandorans all had, like the city of gold and all that stuff. And there's probably other trinkets and just, you know, traditional treasure there. But what is like the main treasure? Like what is the One Piece itself? Well, one of like the most popular theories, and the one that I think is probably true, is that it's just sake, you know, like the alcoholic beverage. And that's probably why Roger laughed, because when he went there, he discovered that Joy Boy, the original one, had left just sake for them to drink or whatever. I guess when they finished the deed or something. I don't think Roger and his boys drank the sake, because that would kind of ruin it. I think it was meant for like Joy Boy or just the individuals who brought the dawn, which obviously the Roger Pirates couldn't do because they came too soon. Now, why is it sake? Well, apparently the Binks sake song tells us this. I'm sure there's a lot of videos breaking down Binks sake and why it tells you of where Laugh-Tale is or just what is on on Laugh Tale. The hook of the song is going to deliver Binks sake. And then the very end of the song says, never ending, ever wandering, our funny traveling tale. Now that doesn't mean that it's directly referencing Laugh Tale, because this song obviously existed before Roger named Laugh Tale, but it just means that it could just be funny, and that anyone who discovered Laugh Tale would have thought it was a funny tale. So going back to chapter 967 again, they're constantly singing this song throughout the chapter, you know, going to Laugh Tale, and this song is always present in the series. And knowing Oda, I'm pretty sure he put this there for a reason, because it is telling us what's going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if Joy Boy came up with this song, or one of his boys of Joy did. So yeah, I mean, that's probably what it is. And if that is ultimately the reveal, you can already imagine what the reception on social media is going to be like. MajinBoros asks, which monster or hero can realistically high diff Beefcake the anime version? Because there's no way I could see Darkshine or even Bang to kill this huge beast. The only characters I see defeating him are the big shots like Garo, Orochi, or Tatsumaki. So anime Beefcake is hilarious, but we also have to scale up the other characters to their season 1 versions as well to be able to go against Beefcake. And I think Darkshine or Bang from season 1, especially if they teamed up, could probably take him down. Like, I don't see why Bang couldn't jump up to his face the way that Saitama did and give him like a water stream combo to his face. I mean, Bang with Bomb was able to take on Elder Centipede, and he wasn't buffed up in season 1 because obviously that was JC Staff, who kept it, you know, pretty manga faithful, I guess. But I think if we had like a season 1 adapted Bang and Darkshine, they could probably take him down. Delamante asks, Yuta versus Hikari, who wins? So I wish I could tell you the answer, but we just still don't know anything about Hikari, and I haven't read the new chapter yet, but from the spoilers that I've seen, we're still not getting much insight into him yet. That's probably going to be the next chapter. As for the hype on the two, I think Akotsu probably has more hype than Hikari and perceived to be more potential. From what I gauged on Gojo talking about Hikari, or I think it was him that was talking about him, he basically put it along the lines of they're maybe in the same tier, but the way that the story is moving in general, you know, putting importance on the two for sure, I'm thinking that Akotsu would probably defeat him. Because Akotsu just came off of fighting 4 mega powerhouses, as where Hikari is kind of just fighting one nerd. And I'm sure Charles Bernard is strong in his own right. I just have a feeling Akotsu would just no-diff him, right? First Wolf asks, how powerful do you think Reino's ice powers will become using the number 6 armor? Do you think he'll become like Kuzan strong? So it's possible that he could become that strong, but from what I've seen, it seems like he'll at least approach like Todoroki level from My Hero at least. I think he'll eventually get there, because I talked about this in my last review, but in the previous chapter to the current one, when we do see what the number 6 kaiju looked like, it was like snowing. So I'm assuming that he was doing that himself, like changing the climate of the area that he is in. So I'm assuming that Reino will eventually get to that point as well. As for like changing like a massive area to ice or something like that, you know, maybe we'll eventually get to that point, but I just not really sure how far the series is going to go at this point. I have a feeling it's going to end like kind of soon. Maybe it has like 10 months left or something, maybe even less than that. Little Ferrari asks, how do you see this Granola arc ending in Dragon Ball Super? Bardock's fight didn't reveal a new form Goku to learn. I could see Granola getting the dub, which I'm pretty mad about. So this is a good question. And I've been thinking about this for a while, actually, because I thought that this arc was going to end with Frieza showing up and doing something cool, but now I'm not really sure. I mean, if Frieza shows up, that would be super hyped, especially if he does something cool, but it just seems like it's going to be pretty standard affair. I'm fully expect Goku to defeat Gas. That's definitely going to happen. As for what his power-up is going to be, he's just going to have more control over Ultra Instinct, because he has more control over his emotions, because he remembered that he's a Saiyan. And that's just how it's going to work. I realize my Saiyan heritage, and I can use the Saiyan portion of my mind to make my overall emotions more balanced. So now I have more power over Ultra Instinct, and I can defeat Gas. But as for Granola, the dub that I think he'll get is just defeating Elect, because like he killed his mom, so he kind of has to, I guess. That's pretty much it for the video today, guys. I want to thank all of my patrons for continuing to support me. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. And once again, if you would like to be in next week's video, simply check out the link in the description. You can sign up there. And if you like the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.